Hello, everyone. Thank you for giving us your time today as we bring to you another episode of our Once a Lawyer series. Today, we have with us Karan Arora, lawyer, entrepreneur, co founder of Burger Culture. Welcome, Karan.
Hi, Kavya. Hi, Michael.
Hey Karan, how
Hi.
are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
All
Doing
good.
very
Thank you.
well, yeah. Pretty hungry, so I'd probably ask you for a recommendation soon.
I'd
Definitely.
ask you
Well,
for a
yeah,
burger, but
yeah.
we'll get to that later.
He lives too far from me, so I mean the burger culture is too far from me. So Shah, take us away.
Just a brief background on Karan. Karan completed his law from GNLU Gandhinagar in 2015. After stints with Edelweiss ARC and ICICI Bank, he went on to pursue his MBA in Marketing and Finance from MDI Gurgaon in 2021. While pursuing his MBA, he conceptualized the idea of burger culture, a boutique restaurant specializing in gourmet burgers. Once he completed his MBA, Burger Culture opens its doors for customers in Delhi. So, Karan, yours is a very unique profile. In fact, it's one of the very rare combinations that we find out there. So, I think our viewers would really like to know. You're a lawyer turned entrepreneur. How did you decide on the concept of burger culture, and why burgers specifically?
So honestly, there are both personal and business reasons involved in when we decided we want to start this brand called Burger Culture. On a personal front, I am really fascinated with burgers. I used to find it a convenience sort of a food. Like when you're hungry, you're like, let me just go have a burger, right? So it's easy, it's quick. So something to do with that. So I was very fascinated with that. Second is with respect to when it comes to business reasons. The first and foremost is that QSR as an industry is growing rapidly, especially in tier 2 and tier 3. People, consumers' aspirations are growing. So they would definitely want more and more brands to open up in those spaces. The second point in the business aspect of why we decided with Burger Culture would be that uh, the kind of food that we are offering is very different from what is being offered by McD or Burger King, because McD and Burger King are offering you frozen food kind of cuisine, whereas what we offer are gourmet burgers, right? So they are fresh. They are the sauces are made in house and everything is done in house. So these would be the business reasons. And one more most important reason would be that when you expand rapidly, right, you have different outlets in different areas, it's easier to maintain consistency in terms of both taste and quality, because less of human effort is required while making a burger, because you need more and more machines to make it rather than human effort, which is required in a fine dining kind of a restaurant. So I think these were the some personal and business reasons why we decided to start with this brand called Burger Culture.
Thanks for
Great,
that,
great.
Karan. See, the two fields of study that you've done, right? When you've gone from law to MBA, they're really different. They're polar opposites in some ways.
Right.
What is it exactly that you felt that you learned in your professional life from law, and what lessons did you take away from the MBA education?
So I think the two most important lessons that I learned from MBA is that diversity in a team brings a lot of good decisions. Because I did a competition in MBA wherein we got a second position nationally. So I was from a legal background, the other guy was from a commerce background, and the third guy was from a pure hardcore finance background. And when we made this team, what happened was that I was very good with qualitative research. This guy was good with quantitative research. So we could actually come up with really good decision in terms of preparation and everything. So I think one aspect is that in a team there should always be diverse kind of people. The background should be different because it helps in decision making. I think the second lesson that I learned from a B school was that networking is really important. If you have good relationship, it opens you to different parts and different doors very easily. Even if you don't have that much talent, but if you have good networking skills, you can do really well in an organization, or even if you're doing business, you have different contacts in different fields. So I think these were the two most important lessons what I learned from B school. When it comes to a law school, I think the most important bit was that they taught me about my rights as a citizen of this country, like, be it consumer rights or rights under the Constitution of India. I think those are really important because nobody can take advantage of you, right? So if I'm running a business, if I understand what the other person is saying and what the law of the land is, it's not easy for somebody to take advantage of me. So I think those were some very important lessons that I learned from a law school and a B school.
All right. Thanks for that, Karan. So, Karan, have you always had the predisposition to venture into the food industry? Or let me, in fact, go back 2 steps. Have you always had the predisposition to, start out on your own? Or how did this, entire concept of starting out on your own, come
Yeah,
into place?
not really यार. When I was in school and law school ना, तो मुझे हमेशा लगता था कि एक छोटा सा एक small cafe I'll open it in some hill station whenever I used to travel and all. But it never happened. Somehow it was like यार ठीक है सोच रहे हैं, but it was never happening. Things were
I
not
mean,
moving in that direction.
sorry to interrupt you there, but I think I mean I've had that idea as well. A few
Yeah,
people, and it's a nice
I think a
fantasy.
lot
I
of
share
us
the
have.
dream as well, folks.
Yeah, yeah,
That dream was always there, but it never happened. I completed my law school. I was really interested in banking. And I still am. I read a lot about what's happening in that field. I read a lot about insolvency and bankruptcy code because that's when it started, like 2016, when I was at Edelweiss. But when I was doing my MBA, second year happened, and kind of got a lot of good contacts in this industry somehow. Something fell in place. That's what I would like to say. Like I got the right contacts. I understood the business model. I understood how to expand it, how to do the marketing bit of it. Like contacts keep on coming once you start venturing out. So I think it was never that I wanted to get into this industry specifically, but it just happened for me.
Okay, you started off, wanting to become a lawyer, or you started off studying law, right? And what did you initially envisage that as? Like, why did you want to do that exactly?
So honestly, I was a science student in 11th and 12th. Yeah,
Mhm.
I thought I'll do engineering and
Mhm.
I'll do MBA after that and whatnot, because my brother is also an engineer turned MBA from IMA.
Mhm.
So somebody doing an engineering and then doing an MBA.
Mhm.
But while I was in 12th, I was actually not interested in engineering or
Not
science for
shocking
that
at all.
matter.
Not shocking at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, ये कर लिया तो I'll just die. Those 4 years of engineering will be really really bad.
Yeah.
But what happened was, so my dad, he said, what do you want to do? At and that point of time, I was really interested in civics, which
Mhm.
was a subject that was there in my
Mhm.
school. So he was like, कि law करना है या ये
Mhm.
करना है? Do you want to do fashion designing? What do you want to do? I read about this course online about law and CLAT and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, law कर लेते हैं. ठीक है?
Mhm.
It seems interesting because it's everything under the sun. You read about every single law at the
Mhm.
National Law University, because there is CPC, there is CRPC, then there is companies law, there is banking and finance. So everything under the sun you get to at least touch upon. So I thought this is a very interesting field and a very diverse kind of a field. So that's when I decided that I can pursue law, and I gave CLAT and I got through GNLU.
All right. All right. And after that, like since you now left the world of law and you've gone into entrepreneurship in hospitality, is there anything from the legal industry that you miss? Like any sort of experience that you miss?
Definitely, yeah.
Oh,
I
definitely.
just
Please
love.
tell us what you
Yeah,
miss.
I do. I do. I just love transaction advisory. Yeah, I just
Mhm.
love it. Like I like reading about it. I like, in fact, a few days back I was discussing with one of my seniors from law school only. यार कि अगर कोई position मिल जाए, which is like an off council sort of a thing, then I would love to continue doing that, like 20 hours a week or something of that sort, because it's something that I am still passionate about. Because I was working with Edelweiss and ICICI Bank. I used to work on transactions, especially revolving around restructuring and refinancing of debt. So I still like that aspect of law. So in case, और वैसे वैसे business का कुछ पता नहीं होता. To be very honest, today is doing well, it might not do well tomorrow. So if at all I have to go back to something, it'll definitely be transaction advice.
So, Karan, how do you see the combination of legal plus finance, coming into play? How has that, in fact, given you an edge, in the field? Because this is definitely one of the very rare combinations out there. Not many people who pursue law end up, pursuing an MBA. At least in India, this is something which is at quite a nascent stage, to be honest. So, how do you think this has helped you in the industry?
So I completely agree that it's a very, very rare combination, but people are taking up. In fact, in my batch itself, there were 3 lawyers turned MBA, and then they were pursuing, getting into jobs and whatnot. So the thing is, I think fields like M&A, eh, the investment banking, and private equity firms, these are some fields wherein law turned MBA will be really, really helpful, because that just does not involve the finance bit. It also involves a lot of qualitative research and a lot of things from the legal background, because you're working on transactions, right? If you're doing a M&A deal, you need to
Yeah.
understand both law and finance. So if somebody with that sort of a background is going to be really helpful for the company, and that's a, as you mentioned, that's a very, very rare combination. So it'll always be good for somebody who's opted for both the courses.
Definitely. And also, Karan, given that you are somebody who ventured out on your own, you're running a successful venture now. So, what would be your advice for professionals? I mean, what should professionals look at when they are considering starting out on their own? Be
So
it after
first,
law, be it after MBA.
there there is a concept called opportunity loss. So first and foremost, they should understand, when you are opting out, you might not be earning a lot of money initially, especially for the first 1.5 years. So when you start that, always remember that there is an opportunity that you are leaving, right? Like for a job, if somebody was doing a job, he was leaving that opportunity. That money is not going to, you'll not be able to earn that kind of money for the first few years. So I think that's something that you should be ready for. Like you'll be not earning for at least 1.5, 2 years. Only after that you'll be able to make some money, because company will always require money. The
Mm.
more you put money in the company, the more it will grow. It's not like you will take out money every single day, right? So
Mhm.
I think I think वो सोच के चलना बहुत जरूरी है, because what happens is after 3 or 4 months people start questioning their own decision. यार सही किया था कि गलत किया
I
था,
think no,
especially for somebody. Yeah, sorry, you're
no, no,
saying
please go
something.
ahead, please go ahead, please go ahead, please finish. I will continue.
Especially for somebody like me who's done law and after that MBA, which is always an expensive course. So it was not an easy decision, let me be honest, because MBA gives you good amount of money
Yeah,
initially as well. But
Absolutely.
it's going to be rough 2 years for me. But I think I'm happy with what I'm doing.
right. I think the MBA certification, leaving that behind or the advantages of that behind would have been really excruciating for you. Building on your point earlier, that I think, like, especially in contemporary times with all the hype and focus on startups, people also have this idea that I have an idea, I'll start something up and it'll be making money in 6 months, 2 years, I'll get funded, and when then they realize once they're in it for the long slog and they're thinking, oh, wait, I have to do this for like 7, 8, 9 years, then is where, like you mentioned, like after the first few months, there are people who drop out after a while when they realize that, oh, this is not
Yeah,
great
you
success.
will question your decision every other day. You question your decision.
Yeah. So both fields that you've been in, right? Law as well as hospitality, both require a certain amount of people skills because you're dealing with people in both cases. What do you think? What people skills do you think are required to succeed in like both of these fields? As in, is it the same skills that are required, or do you think different types?
So I think one common thing between both the fields would be that you have to serve, like in law field, you have to serve your clients really well. Unless until you make them happy, then you will not make money. When it comes to hospitality as well, you have to be good with consumers. Consumer satisfaction is the most important thing. Even if your product is good, but the service is not good, they will not come back, and the retention rate will be really less when it comes to consumers. So I think both these fields require a lot of client slash customer focus. Whereas when there's some sort of differentiation that I would like to create, law also requires a lot of negotiation.
Mhm.
Like especially in corp law, when you're doing transactions and all, you have to negotiate with the other counsel, the other party, right? So I
Mhm.
think that's something that's required in law. The same skill could be used in hospitality in terms of when you try and procure things from different vendors. You have to negotiate. You have to talk to different vendors to come to a conclusion. भाई कि इसी से लेना है because it's cheap, or it could also be because he's giving you credit कि यार
Right.
6 महीने का क्रेडिट है ठीक है, बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है in any form of business, because otherwise initially when you start out they will never give you credit. So I think these are some sort of skills that are required in both the fields.
Great. So, Karan, we have a quick rapid fire coming up. You could call it maybe coffee with Vahura if you like. But before Before we get to that, just wanted to know what next for you. What's next in store in terms of your business, in terms of your venture? What have you planned?
For burger culture, especially.
So honestly, we're trying to. So the model that we want to follow is a franchisee-based model
Mhm.
because I want to keep it less of capital intensive.
Hmm,
It's
hmm,
always better because you put more capital on your books, it becomes very difficult to manage, and especially because outlets will be in different cities and whatnot, right?
hmm,
So
hmm, hmm.
it's not possible for me to be present everywhere. So it's always better that there is someone in that city managing the operations bit. What we can do is provide the kind of services that a franchisor will provide. So I think that's the kind of model that we're planning to follow as of now. The second model that is also coming up is a cloud kitchen model. That's also we're exploring right now. Like you just don't have a dining area because it's very good when when you check the unit economics in
Mhm.
cloud kitchen. You will start making money in 2-3 months if the product is really good and your service is fine.
Hmm.
So these two models are what we are looking out for right now. And yeah, we're talking to different people who want to invest in this industry, invest in the business, and that's what is going right now for my venture.
All right.
That
So now
sounds
we're
really
gonna
interesting.
now we're gonna
Yeah,
go to the rapid fire round. So Shazad,
rapid
take us away.
fire. Okay, so Karan, what's the first song in your current playlist?
First song in my current playlist.
Rapid
Uh,
fire, rapid fire. So, like go fast.
that's a tough question. I keep listening to songs, but
First song that
I
comes to your
think
mind right now.
so. I went to a trip right now. Yar Mordu. I don't know whether you guys have heard or not.
Oh, not me, but
It's a
maybe Shazad.
Punjabi song. We went to a trip right now, so we were
Hmm.
hearing this song.
Okay. Last
Yeah.
good movie you watched.
Last good movie. I'm watching this movie, The Founder, and I really like it.
Oh, love that. The McDonald's story. Yes.
Yeah.
Great. So,
And
what
also,
would be
what
the
the last movie that I watched would be Bird Box. I don't know whether you guys have
Oh,
seen it or not,
like that
but it's
movie
an
as well. That's
interesting.
the thriller movie where you can't see,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I really like it.
Sandra Bullock, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
yeah. All
Shazad.
right, Karan. So, what cuisine would you like to serve next for your hospitality venture? Apart from burgers,
Uh,
that is.
maybe something to do with maybe pizzas and all because that also makes a lot of business sense to me. uh, you will be using the same kind of products again.
Got it.
The only difference will be the bread. So I think the synergies will match.
Got it. So it's sort of
So
like an
that's something
extension to
that,
your existing line.
yeah, exactly. So that's something that we can look for. We haven't decided anything as of now, but that's something that we can explore.
All right. Okay, let's say you have to hire someone. One candidate shows a lot of enthusiasm, attitude, while the other one shows more on talent and creativity. Which one would you pick?
I think enthusiasm.
Okay, is there a reason for that? Like why you pick that over, let's say, the
Yeah,
skill?
absolutely. Because if you're not passionate and if you're not happy with what you're doing, even if you have talent and creativity, it's very difficult to get something out of someone. And especially in an environment like ours, it's a startup,
Mhm.
right? So you'll not
Mhm.
be paid a lot. So if
Mhm.
you're not paid and if you're not passionate, then you will not be able to bring out the best from someone. So I think it's better
Okay.
to have somebody in the team who's very enthused and want to do something.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Agreed. Karan, do you follow any sports?
Uh, Not really. Matlab, I don't follow a particular sport right now, but I used to. I used to follow cricket one point of time, but not right now.
Favorite cricketer?
Uh, Maybe Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni.
Hmm.
MS
All
Dhoni.
right.
I like MS Dhoni. In fact, more than Virat.
Okay. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Do you know who said that?
That's a Warren Buffett quote. Yeah.
Right. We've been told you're a big fan of Warren Buffett. So, what would you say?
I
What would you say is your favorite quote by him? Something that you use as a
I think
mantra.
the one you mentioned, and he has two rules.
Yeah.
The first rule is never lose money,
Honey.
and
Yeah.
the second rule is that
Don't
never
forget.
forget rule number one.
Nice. Nice.
so
Nice. It's a very good quote.
So it's very interesting. I am reading this book called The Snowball. I think you guys should also read it sometime.
Mhm.
It's on Warren Buffett's life,
Okay.
and it's really interesting. Really interesting. Like he started business when he was maybe in what he was 10 or something.
Kid. Like
He's been
yeah.
doing yeah. So he's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. A big fan of Warren Buffett myself. Shazad, go on.
All right. So, Karan, what's your favorite way to unwind?
Hmm. I think I would love to travel here whenever I get an opportunity.
Actually, a lot of effort to unwind.
Last 4 months I've been traveling every month, so that's
Mhm.
been a good
Have you
thing
gone
for me.
any place interesting?
You can go to Kasoli if you haven't seen. I really
Mhm.
liked it. Quite good. Then obviously I visited Jaipur, Goa, and
Mhm.
you must have visited those places. So I think I would suggest if you guys haven't been to Kasoli, you can probably visit once.
Oh, definitely. I'm pretty close by as well in Delhi. So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
ends the rapid fire, Karan. You came through unscathed. We do not have a basket or a hamper to give you, but you have our appreciation, which I'm telling you matters more
I
than
would.
Karan Johar's
I
basket.
don't mind if you send it across through a courier, man.
Or like, we'll just send across through a
It's
friend.
heartfelt, Karan. Heartfelt. We can't share it.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us today and taking us through your work and your career path. It's pretty interesting to see that a lawyer's gone to flipping burgers in a way. So it's pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much,
Thank
guys.
you
Thank
for
you,
this,
Shashank.
Karan. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for joining us, Karan. And we look forward to meeting you at the
In
Burger
person.
Culture store. The Burger
Definitely.
Culture
Please, you guys
restaurant.
should visit.
Definitely will do so. Yeah, I'll definitely do so. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.